What's up, YouTube? It's the console samurai with Grown Ups Gaming. And once again, Nintendo is going after YouTubers. Not that anyone was surprised. This time, they're going after speedrunners and they're going after ROM hackers. Now, ROM hackers sounds bad, but speedrunners, for those of you who don't know, are people who actually go ahead and they play old levels as fast as they can. And generally, people pick old Nintendo levels. Super Mario Brothers 2, 3, so on and so forth. For a variety of reasons. One, largely because of nostalgia. They really just want to play a level that they love from a company that they love. And partly also because of the familiarity. An old level like that, if you know it very well, and some of those games are, well, shit, almost 30 years. Almost 30 years of practice, you should know a level pretty good if you've been playing it constantly. So it definitely gives you a competitive edge to do that. And it makes a lot of sense. But again, they do it largely out of nostalgia and love for Nintendo. Now, the ROM hackers are, well, they're people who take a ROM or a game for an emulator on your computer, and they tweak it a little bit. They go into the code and they make their own levels. Sounds very familiar to something Nintendo just came up with. And they go in and they do this, and there was a video a while back. If I can find the video, I'll actually put it in the description down below, of the hardest Super Mario Brothers level ever, which required an amazing amount of precision to actually do it. But it was very impressive, and the people who made this, they made it out of love for Nintendo, out of nostalgia, and also probably to show off their skills. But it was a very interesting idea. Nintendo got hold of that, and they got wind of that, and they got wind of a few other similar cases, and they decided to have them pulled down. Now, the reason for this is that, as I've mentioned in a previous video, Nintendo is rabidly anti-emulation. In their opinion, emulated games are stolen games because they're not games you've paid for. Okay, that actually I can kind of see the logic in that, but as I said, these people, they're doing these levels out of love. They're not trying to make money off them. They're doing these levels out of love and nostalgia, and you're shitting on them, basically, not to put too fine a point on it. And the problem with that is they claim that they don't want this. They don't want emulation, and they don't want ROMs, and they want that to be illegal. And they've even pushed for it to be made illegal because it hurts their sales as a company. Well, it doesn't hurt your sales as a company, because the majority of games that are emulated are not available anymore. It's not that they're still in the shelves, or that most of them can even be downloaded through whatever online store for whatever console or whatever manufacturer it is, or even PC. Well, PC a little bit more, but they're just not available anymore. So it's not that it's hurting your sales, and if anything, it's free advertising. Because when a video like the hardest Super Mario Brothers level ever goes viral, well, that just makes people more interested in Nintendo. That makes your company relevant again. And that is something that Nintendo just doesn't seem to be able to wrap their head around. And before everyone starts commenting on the bottom of this, well, it's their IP. They have the right to do that. That is entirely true. From a legal standpoint, they do have the right to do that. But does that make it the right thing to do? Yes, they own the property. They can pull down any video they choose if they choose to do it. But it doesn't mean that they should. They can, they shouldn't. And look at the backlash from YouTubers all over the world because of this. And just people in general. They hate the things that Nintendo comes up with. And that's a big problem, because these people, when people do something like this, out of love and nostalgia for your company, and you kick them in the teeth, which is exactly what you're doing, people are going to stop doing it, because people are going to stop actually loving your company for what it once was. They're going to start seeing it as a money-grubbing company that you don't want any content that you can't control. And this comes back to Super Mario Maker. There was two warnings that came out about this game just recently. I think actually just within the last day. First one being, somewhat innocuous, where if any level is really not doing very well, it's not very popular, they'll remove it from the system after a short period of time. But there was also a second warning that said that Nintendo can make money off any level with no compensation to the creator whatsoever. Now, there's two ways to interpret this. One, they may just be covering their bases. You know, a level could come out in a future Mario game, and they don't want somebody going, "Oh, well, look, I created that one. That one was mine. They used my level for that. My level is the base of that," and they want to protect themselves from that, which I understand. But the scary part is, what if the really popular levels, the really good ones, aren't going to be free? What if somewhere down the road they start charging for the ones that everyone wants to play just to make an extra buck? But let me know what you think. What do you think about the speedrunning ROM hacking videos being pulled down? You know, what do you think of possibly Super Mario Maker making a buck off people's videos? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Or not videos, but levels. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Once again, I am the Console Samurai, and I'll see you around.